Hi, welcome to Hot Literati. Hot Literati is a collective of hot, cool, well-read people. I'm Halo, your fearless leader. I'm happy to be here. This is my 22nd book of the year, The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And I just want to share some thoughts after finishing it today. And what I typically like to do is go through my annotations one by one, tell you what I thought, what it reminds me of, stuff like that. So, in the first section, The Coming of the Sheep, there's this line, "And alone and without his nest shall the eagle fly across the sun." I think leaving the nest is just this universal thing and so much like imagery, so many stories, like children's stories. That's always really scary, but like it's a natural part of like human life, like having to leave your home, having to leave like the place from which you came to seek what's next, and it's always terrifying. That's sort of what growing up is. Section on love. "When you love, you should not say, 'God is in my heart,' but rather, 'I am in the heart of God.'" I liked that a lot. I think in shapes a lot, and like being nestled in the heart of God, I think is a really like comforting, beautiful image. And I think this is kind of a literary device that this book does a lot, where it takes like one thing, it's like don't say this, say this, and like subverts its own meaning, which I think is really cool. Okay, in the section on work, I really liked this one. This quote, "And to love life through labor is to be intimate with life's inmost secret." Or, "And when you work with love, you bind yourself to yourself and to one another and to God." Or, "Work is love made visible." That's advice that my mentors sort of give me a lot, is everything you do it with love. And I mean, it's hard to remember that, especially when you just like are tired or burnt out, but it is a really important lesson. The section on clothes I thought was really interesting, talking about modesty is for a shield against the eye of the unclean. And it made me think about this one sermon I was listening to as a kid about this like guy who was on a date with a girl and like took her up on a hill and like, I don't know, wanted to like make out or something, and she got out of the car and he like left her there. And I remember the pastor was like, "She's so brave for like getting out of the car." And me as a kid, I was just like, it shouldn't all be her responsibility. And I think like this reading of it is really cool, right? Because it's kind of like acknowledging both sides, like this tension within modesty and an unclean eye, which is like, yeah, that made me think of that. I haven't thought about that memory in a really long time. That's all I annotated. Yeah, I liked this book a lot. It's really beautiful, and I think it has these like really timeless parables, right? Like, I haven't actually read The Alchemist or 100 Years of Solitude, but I think it's like in a similar camp, right? These sort of like thought experiments around like life, how to deal with it, how to keep going, and really gorgeous. I also thought it was funny, the quality of this book is like really interesting, and it's printed in Texas, which felt unique. I get into like print, like typeset, stuff like that as well, and this is like a really simple, like simply made book, which I kind of respect, and I think goes to the camp of like anyone can make a book, which I think is like really beautiful and a really exciting notion. Like, you can make a book. I am making a book, and I want to publish other people's work long term, like work of people who I think are really talented, who don't usually get platformed, especially work of like young people, because I think right now it's more normal for someone to like play the industry game for a long time before they get to publish a book. But I think like young people have important stuff to say too, and I think it would be so cool to publish like work of people still in college, like fresh out of college, to kind of like diversify the age of the voices that are contributing to the literary canon at any point in time. Yeah, so that's my takeaway from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, my 22nd book of the year. I started another one, is 23, but I'm like craving some Faulkner, some Balzac, like some Nietzsche. I'm craving something like really dense. I don't know what that says. So we'll see what I end up picking up. Yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate you all. Bye. Good night.